Welcome back to another crafted review. Now I'm super excited to do this review for you guys today because it is something that I'm going to use on a daily basis. It is the Vijim LT25 multifunctional desk setup stand. So if you're someone who's in the market for, say, a microphone arm or maybe a desk mount for your camera or your lighting, this is going to be a product that you really should buy because it literally does all of that in one product. So stick around because we're going to get into a quick unboxing, show you what's inside the box itself, as well as how easy it is to set up and use, and then break down some of the features that it has, and then kind of give you some final sort of thoughts and reviews on whether you should purchase this product or not. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's just dive into seeing what comes in the box itself. Let's go. Okay, so this is what comes in the box. You have your boom arm itself, you then have your actual clamp, and then your additional sort of threads that allow you to kind of attach any sort of interface or device that you want to this actually multifunctional arm. Now you have two of these threads. Let's start with these. So you can see that they have two different sizes. This one I think is the 3/8 thread, and then this one here is the 5/8 inch thread. So really nice that you have two different options to kind of thread through different sort of devices, whether it be a microphone, a camera, maybe it's a certain mount that you have that requires a different size thread. It's great that they add this as an additional sort of accessory within this box. Now let's dive into the actual clamp itself. So here you can see that it doesn't have the Ulanzi sort of branding on. It's Vijim, and so they've sort of partnered with Vijim to help create some of these products that they have on their website. And it's a really sturdy, well-made sort of base plate that you're going to help make sure that this arm is stable on your desk, and it's not going to be flying off. Now, it's primarily made out of metal, except for these actual knobs here, which are plastic. But what I really love about this is that if I unscrew it, you might be able to see it a bit. You can kind of see, let's see if I can get the right light here. I'll try and get it a bit more for you. This bit over here is actually a like sort of rubberized texture, and it has it on both sides, on the actual screwable part as well as the actual bottom here. And what this means is that you're not going to scratch your desk, and it's going to ensure that it doesn't slip off at any point. So it's really nice that they've thought about that. Great add to have in terms of the actual mount itself. Now let's get into the actual arm itself. So here you can see we have basically, it's attached to this sort of piece of material here, and we're just gonna maybe take these off so we can kind of take a look and get this plastic off, and then let's get it off. There we go. Now we're gonna just unattach this guy here. You can see it's on a spring, so that's why they've used this. There we go. And let's get this plastic off. And there we go. This is the actual boom arm itself. I'm just going to pull it together so we can see everything kind of nicely. Now, it has obviously the part here at the bottom, the base, which goes into the actual base mount here. And then you have these knobs, which you're going to obviously tighten to adjust to fit the kind of the rotation and the sort of flexibility of this arm, giving you the ability to kind of dial in the settings. Now you also have, obviously, this here is a 1/4 inch thread, and you have this locking system to be able to kind of ensure that whatever piece of equipment that you have on this arm, you're going to be able to lock it in securely and it's not going to fall off, which is a great feature to have. Now I will say that the build quality is really, really nice. This is, I believe, some sort of metal. But the only downside, I guess, in my opinion, is these actual knobs, which are made out of plastic. Now, it's not a deal breaker, but it would have been nice to kind of have a metal, because you obviously don't want something like this breaking. And being the fact that it's plastic, it's obviously a weak point within this arm. Now you can see here you also have these sort of cable clips that basically you run your cables through the center of this actual arm, and these will help hide the cable. So it's really nice that they've really gone that far and thought about it. But you can see it opens up really nicely. It has really good sort of flexibility. If you loosen it, it gets even more flexible. And so yeah, I think that it's a great sort of entry-level arm that you can kind of start out with, that gives you multiple functionality to it. And whereas some other sort of boom arms that are specifically for microphones, you're not going to have this much versatility. So if you're looking for something that, you want to still attach your camera, shoot shots like this, or, maybe have different multi-functions to it, this is going to be a great arm for you. So I think it's time that we kind of look at now the setup. So let's get into it. Cool. So now what I want to kind of show you is basically how easy it is to set up this multifunctional arm. It really literally only takes 2 steps and then a couple adjustments to get it to the position that you would like to have it in. So obviously first you have this sort of base mount, and it literally is 2 dials. This dial here allows you to kind of tighten and fasten the actual boom arm itself. And this here obviously is to kind of tighten it to your desk. Now you have the ability to kind of adjust the sort of space between it so that it can fit specifically to the thickness of your actual desk itself. So I'm going to show you that real quick. So you simply just slide it in, tighten it, make sure it's relatively tight, not too tight though. And you can see it's nice and firm, not going to move anywhere, which is great. Now, with the actual multifunctional arm, you can see you have this silver bit at the end. Now, this is where you're going to slide it into the top of the actual sort of mount itself. And all you do is just go, boom. It's that easy. You just simply slide it in, and then you use the small little knob at the bottom to kind of tighten it or loosen it to be able to position it in any sort of angle that you want. It has a full 360-degree motion, so you can really adjust it and position it how exactly you want and in terms of your needs. Now, if I run through kind of the actual functionality of the arm itself, the bottom knob allows you to kind of do rotation. It's going to stop here because of this one here. Let's just put this out. So you can go a full 180 in terms of degrees all the way down. And then with the middle one, you can also rotate it a full 180 as well. So you've got nice rotation there. And then with this sort of top bit here, you can do a full 270 degrees. So it's really nice that you have this versatility to kind of really position it. So for instance, if I wanted to bring it closer, you can just really change the angle really quickly, and boom, it's locked in, nice and secure. So now I wanted to kind of just show you where these additional threads could come in really handy for you. So I have the Moano DM30 microphone, and it originally comes with a sort of stand that this little screws into at the bottom here, but it won't fit into the 1/4-inch thread. So that's where this additional thread really comes into play. So I'm going to quickly just screw it on for you, speed this part up so you can kind of see how quick and easy it is to just pop in a microphone or any sort of additional attachment that might need a thread like this. Let's go. And just like that was quick as a flash, I would say. So it's really nice that it's got these additional attachments, meaning that you can really attach any device that you have, whether it be a light, a camera, a microphone. There are so many sort of different tools or equipment that you can attach to this multifunctional arm, which is fantastic. Now, I want to also just mention that there is one last bit that you can make even more sort of fine tweaks to, and that's this little bit at the top here, just below the actual third sort of knob. And when you loosen this, it gives you full 360-degree rotation of whatever your piece of equipment is. Now, this is really nice because you can really fine tune it. Or for instance, when you have per se like a microphone where you need it pointing in a certain direction, you can really dial it in to kind of be locked in place in the actual angle that you need to be able to get the best sounding audio, or maybe, you're trying to get a specific shot and you need your camera to point in a certain direction. This is going to be great to be able to have that sort of functionality. So I want to quickly just show you also the cabling system and the actual clips that help kind of make your cabling look a lot more neater and just give it that more professional look. So let's dive into that. So this is the cable that I have for my Mono DM30, and I just wanted to kind of really show you how easy it is to hide the cables within the actual multifunctional arm. You simply just take the cable itself, attach it to the device, run it up around the back, and slide it kind of into the actual arm itself. Take one of your clips and simply just press down. It takes literally a couple of seconds. It doesn't take very long at all. And what it basically means is that you're now going to have a very professional looking sort of multifunctional boom arm. And so you're not going to have these messy cables flying around, meaning that you're going to get a really clean looking shot. And just, it just looks so much better when you have all your cables hidden as compared to, say, the cheaper sort of boom arms that don't really have any system that helps you to hide any additional cables. Now, there is obviously a good sort of gap. So if you have more than one cable, you can quite easily hide more than one cable in this arm. And so it's a really great feature that comes with this multifunctional arm. I would like to now kind of just dive into kind of what it looks like in its full setup and just kind of explain some of the use cases that I am going to really enjoy using this for, and just show you kind of in use with a camera on it, as well as, like maybe an audio device, some sort of lighting equipment, and you can really get a good sense of the versatility of this multifunctional arm. So let's go. Now, I wanted to chat about the multifunctional aspect of this arm. Now, this is what makes it so unique compared to other sort of boom arms out there, because you can attach multiple different pieces of equipment, giving you the versatility to kind of really use it in multiple different ways. So now, as you can see, I've got a camera set up here. So if you are someone who is a content creator, or maybe you are an illustrator or designer, and you want something that's just going to give you that versatility to kind of get more unique, dynamic shots, different angles, or even, change it up and kind of record yourself, or you doing a sketch or something like that from a top-down angle, this arm is going to give you that option. Now, I want to mention that if you do attach your camera or any sort of piece of equipment, keep in mind that it only has a 2 kg payload. So don't go put something that's very heavy, because the arm obviously will collapse and you do run the risk of kind of damaging your equipment. Now, you obviously can use it for other pieces of equipment. So if you are a content creator or someone who uses their phone to film themselves, you could technically use a piece like this. I'll just take it off quickly so you can see. Basically, this is just a little sort of mount that has these springs that you can clip your phone into. And you can then use the 1/4" thread to attach to the arm, so you can really get the use out of it to be able to get different angles and really change up the sort of look and feel your videos to kind of just feel a bit more professional, as opposed to if you had it just on a tripod or using a sort of camera that's on top of your monitor. You're going to get so much use out of this to be able to get more dynamic looking shots. Now, obviously, you can also use it for, say, an audio recording device, such as this is the Zoom H6, but you can technically use any audio device that has a 1/4" thread, or a thread that will fit the additional threads that come with this arm. So it's really great that you have the flexibility to be able to attach different devices. For instance, like this is the Ulanzi LT25 pocket video light. I've done an additional review on this, so definitely go check it out. And it's great because if you are someone who, is at a certain level of creating content and you don't have any lighting, you could definitely use this as a light stand to kind of really illuminate yourself and just elevate your videos to look that much more professional. So now that I've kind of chatted about sort of the functionality of it, I've talked about, its multifunctional use, as well as some of the pros and cons, I think we've reached that point in the video where, we need to make a decision. Is this going to be a good fit for me? Is it going to fit my environment? Do you have a small sort of workspace that you need it to have very multifunctional, you can position in different places? This is something that you got to ask yourself. And for me personally, being that I do have a very small sort of space to work with, I have found this to be very useful because I can literally change the position
I can point it at the front of my desk and film myself. I can have it behind my monitor and use it with my microphone so that it's not like in someone's face when I'm having a video call or sort of recording myself. So it really does give you versatility. And I think that at this price point, you really are getting value for money, because a lot of the more expensive ones out there, you're going to be paying top dollar for that. Whereas this, it's a really budget friendly price, and you get the additional accessories that give you the flexibility to kind of achieve the sort of shots that you want to get if you're using a camera, or just attach multiple pieces of equipment. So you have a lot of flexibility in this arm itself. Now, obviously it is really well built. You have sort of good cabling system, and it really has multiple uses. So I think that if you did make this purchase, you really will be satisfied. And if you are interested, I have left the link in the description, so definitely go check it out. Now, obviously, you need to understand that there are some limitations to this, but for the most part, you really are going to get good use out of this arm, and I'm really satisfied with my purchase. So I hope you guys have really enjoyed this video. You found it super informative, and if you have any sort of further questions, or you yourself have purchased this and would like to leave some additional feedback, please feel free to do so in the comment section. And I really hope that you guys will subscribe to my channel, as I'm going to be reviewing a lot more products like this. And I really want to kind of give you guys the best information that I can to make an informed decision. So thank you guys for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in more reviews. Let's get crafted.